Hey everybody, welcome to Classic Mini DIY. On today's episode, we're going to be replacing the choke cable on my friend's Classic Mini, so stay tuned. All right, so to switch things up a little bit this time, we are gonna be working on my friend's Classic Mini. I know that you guys are probably getting a little tired of seeing my blue Mini on every single episode, so I figure let's switch it up. Today, we are gonna be doing a pretty simple job. We're gonna be replacing the choke cable on my friend's 1969 1293 Mini here. The choke cable is a pretty common thing you have to replace on the Classic Mini. It frequently breaks and frequently gets stuck. It's kind of like an annoying part. I probably had to replace mine 4 or 5 times since I've owned my car. So I have no doubt that one of you guys are definitely gonna have to replace it on your car at some point. So cool thing about this car is not only is it a 1293, but it does have an HIF 44 carburetor and it has a belt drive system. So instead of your standard timing gear on the right-hand side of the motor with your radiator, it actually has a full belt drive system, which adds quite a bit of adjustability and reliability to this car. And it also will kind of quiet down the whole drive of your car because the belt drive is just it's quieter. It's not metal on metal anymore. So first things first, you're gonna need to remove your heater. Lucky for us, the heater's already been removed on this car, so we don't have to pull that out. But let's jump inside the car and we'll go ahead and unbolt the choke cable and the whole mounting system inside so we can get that cable out. All right, so I said we were gonna start inside, but I changed my mind. We actually are gonna start out in the car, and as you can see, we've got our HIF 44 carb here, and right here we have our choke cable connection. Now, this choke cable connects into a small little trunnion, and let me show you a close-up of this because this little trunnion has a tendency to break. So you see that little chrome trunnion right there is what holds the cable in place. You tighten down this little adjustment screw and it tightens down right on top of that cable and holds it in place. Now the reason I'm mentioning this is because these have a huge tendency to break when you're taking them off. So whenever I do this job, I always get a new little clip here. Also, when you're doing this job, you can replace this clip if you don't have one. In this case, Matt's got one already, so we're just gonna leave that alone. And yeah, so let's go ahead and disconnect this trunnion and get this cable out of here. All right, so once you have that disconnected, all you have to do now is kind of set that cable down, and we're gonna jump into the inside of the car for real this time, and we're gonna disconnect the instrument panel so we can get that cable out. All right, so to get this off, there are 2 small nuts on the back side of the whole instrument panel there, and those need to be loosened up, and then the whole instrument panel should fall forward towards you and towards the passenger compartment. All right, so once you have your instrument panel off, the next step is to just disconnect your choke cable. So we've already got it disconnected from the engine bay, and really all that's left is a hex nut that's on the back side of your existing choke cable. So this hex nut will need to come off, and then you'll pull your whole choke cable all the way out of its housing there, and then the actual retaining ring should come out as well when you have that hex nut removed. Take note of where it actually comes out of your bulkhead because you'll want to run your new cable back through the same hole and back into your engine compartment. All right, so the last thing that we're gonna do is connect our trunnion back to the cable here. And as you can see, I've got it connected up and on the cable, but you can't just connect it up and then attach it. You actually have to put the trunnion on your carburetor first and then run the cable through the little hole here. So let's do that. All right, and so once you've got everything connected, you can see here we've got our choke cable connected to the new trunnion and our actuating arm. And then right up here at the top, don't forget you do need to connect the clip to the actual choke cable housing, and then you're ready to roll. All right, so that wraps everything up. I hope you guys enjoyed a little bit different change up with the car. I appreciate Matt loaning the car to this video and letting me use it in order to film a video replacing this choke cable. If you guys have any questions, obviously post them in the comment section below. And as usual, all the parts that we used in this episode can be found at 7miniparts.com. I do have links to those in the description below, so if you feel like supporting the channel and supporting my parts sponsor, check out those links. Otherwise, enjoy those minis and motor on.